Hi students, welcome to this class. Okay, and in this class I will start this chapter 4, natural numbers and whole numbers. Okay, so and in this chapter we have two exercises. One is the recap and other is the 4.1. So first we will solve some questions from the recap exercise. So let us start solving the questions. So I will do number 1. Okay, first number 1 question. So question number 1. In this question number 1, read your question and in your book. Which number should be multiplied with? Okay, which number should be multiplied with 9 to get the product of 900? है ना, ये क्वेश्चन है कि मतलब 9 में कौन सा नंबर मल्टीप्लाई करने से आंसर होगा 900। तो देखो इसमें क्या होगा, है ना, देखते हैं। और 9 में क्या मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे? दैट इज 9 इंटू व्हाट नंबर इक्वल टू 900। सो क्या मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा? तो इट इज वेरी, you can see here that 9 ones are 9 and then double zero is there. So here the answer will be here 100. So what will you write the answer here? That so 100, okay, 100 is multiplied to 9 to get 900. Okay, or you can also give the answer by using another method, that is you will divide, because here what number you will multiply to 9 to get 900, so you will divide 900 by 9. Okay, you can also do this, that is 900 divided by 9. Okay, so 9 is 9, then 0, then here 0, then 0 and 0 and then 0. So the answer is here 100. Okay, so in this way also we can do. So this is the answer of this question. Question number 1. Now question number 2. Question number 2. In this question number 2, find the difference between the largest 5-digit number and the smallest 6-digit number. Okay, the largest 5-digit number. So write the largest 5-digit number and the smallest 6-digit number. Okay, smallest. Digit number and the largest 5-digit number. Okay, so the smallest 6-digit number. What is the smallest 6-digit number? It is 1 lakh. So write here 1 lakh, 100 and 000. Okay, and what is the largest 5-digit number? That is 99,999. Now find the difference, means subtract this. Okay, so difference is, we subtract these two numbers, we will get the answer. So here it is 1. Okay, so it will be here 0, 0, 0, 0, everything. So everything here 0, so answer is here 1. Okay, when you subtract 99,999 from 1 lakh, the answer will be 1. So the difference is here 1. Now question number 4. Okay, I will do question number 4 and you will do the homework in question number 3. The cost of 10 pence is 200 rupees. What will be the cost of 7 such pence? Okay, the cost of 10 pence. 10 pence is 200 rupees. Then what is the cost of 7 such pence? So this is, you will solve this question by unitary method. First you have to find the cost of 1 pen and then you can find the cost of 7 pence. Okay, so question number 4. Cost of 10 pence equal to rupees 200. Then find the cost of 1 pen equal to 200 divided by 10. So rupees 20 is the cost of 1 pen. Then the cost of 7 such pens equal to 20 into 7 equal to rupees 140. Okay, so this is the answer of this question. है ना, ये क्वेश्चन है इसमें कि 10 पेन, ओके 10 पेन्स का दाम है 200 रुपीज, ठीक है। तो हमको बताना है कि 7 पेन्स का दाम 7 पेन्स का कॉस्ट कितना होगा। ओके, तो पहले इसमें हमको एक पेन का कॉस्ट पता होना चाहिए। तो पहले हम एक पेन का कॉस्ट निकालेंगे और उसके बाद उस कॉस्ट को हम 7 से मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे, तो हमें 7 पेन्स का कॉस्ट मिल जाएगा। सो हियर आई गेट दिस क्वेश्चन एंड नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 7. Okay, question number 7. On dividing 400 by 16, what will be the remainder? Okay, question number 7 is on dividing 400 by 16, what will be the remainder? So first divide this number, then you will get the remainder. Question number 7. On dividing 400 by 16, okay, divide 400 by 16. So 8 here and 0, 16 5 here 80. So 0 here. So here you will write that remainder equal to 0. Okay, so this is the answer. Then question number 9. Okay, question number 9. In this North Indian thali is sold for rupees 80 and South Indian thali is sold for rupees 100. So in a party 20 of each type are ordered. How much money will be paid to the restaurant? So here, what is the meaning of North Indian thali? You know, North Indian thali, South Indian thali. कभी सुना है? तो North Indian thali मतलब क्या होता है कि जो इंडिया में अगर मतलब if you divide India in two parts, that is North India and South India. तो North India में आ जाता है दिल्ली है, उत्तर प्रदेश है, पंजाब है, हरियाणा है ना, ये सब जो स्टेट्स हैं वो सब नॉर्थ में आते हैं। तो यहाँ का जो होटल में जो खाना मिलता है उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं नॉर्थ इंडियन थाली। जैसे राजस्थान में जाओगे तो वहाँ पर राजस्थानी थाली होगा, उसको भी हम बोलेंगे नॉर्थ इंडियन थाली। और फिर जब साउथ में जाओगे, मतलब आंध्र प्रदेश जाओगे, चेन्नई में, मतलब तमिलनाडु या केरल वगैरह सब में जाओगे, दैट इज द साउथ इंडियन थाली। मतलब साउथ के जो मतलब स्टेट्स हैं वहाँ पर जो रेस्टोरेंट में खाना मिलता है उसको बोलते हैं साउथ इंडियन थाली। तो एक्चुअली वहाँ पर थाली को नहीं बोलते हैं, पता नहीं वहाँ पर क्या बोलते हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन नॉर्थ में थाली बोलते हैं, ठीक है। सो हियर नॉर्थ इंडियन थाली सोल्ड, मतलब जो नॉर्थ इंडियन थाली है उसका एक थाली का कॉस्ट है 80 रुपीज, ठीक है, और जो साउथ इंडियन थाली है उसका कॉस्ट कितना है 100 रुपीज है। तो इन अ पार्टी 20 ऑफ ईच टाइप, दैट इज एक पार्टी है और उसमें क्या ऑर्डर किया गया है, तो 20 थाली ऑफ नॉर्थ इंडियन और 20 थाली ऑफ साउथ इंडियन। तो फिर आपको टोटल कितना पे करना पड़ेगा। ओके, सो फाइंड आउट। सो फर्स्ट राइट द कॉस्ट ऑफ वन नॉर्थ इंडियन थाली। ओके, द कॉस्ट ऑफ वन नॉर्थ इंडियन थाली equal to rupees 80. Okay, the cost of one North Indian thali. Then what is the cost of? Okay, then cost of 20 such thali. Thali is equal to 80 into 20. That is the cost of 20. What is the this is the cost of one thali of North Indian. Then what is the cost of 20 North Indian thalis? Okay, so it will be 8 to the 1600 rupees. Now the cost of one South Indian thali equal to how much? Rupees 100. So the cost of 20 such thalis equal to how much? 20 into 100, that is 2000 rupees. Okay, so the cost of 20 South Indian thalis equal to 2000 rupees, and the cost of 20 North Indian thalis equal to 1600 rupees. So how much money will be paid? So total money paid. That equal to 1600 plus 2000 rupees, that is 3600 rupees. Okay, this is the answer of this question. Total money paid to the restaurant, RESTA, okay, URANT, okay, restaurant. So this is the answer of this question. This much money will be paid to the restaurant. That is 3600 rupees. Okay. So this is the end of this exercise, and there are, I did how many questions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions I did. Then there are 5 questions remaining, and that is your homework. Okay. Now next in this next exercise is the 4.1 exercise. Okay. 4.1. Okay. Now exercise 4.1, and this is the last exercise of this chapter. Okay, so in this here, you know, the name of this chapter is numbers, that is the natural numbers and the whole numbers. So first you must know what are the natural numbers and what are the whole numbers. So what is the what are the natural numbers? The numbers, that is the counting numbers. Counting numbers are called the natural numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this set of number is called the natural numbers. The next number is the whole numbers. So when you include 0, okay, when you include 0 in the natural number system, then this will be called the whole number system. That is, the whole number starts with 0. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay. So this is the difference here. Okay, the natural numbers are like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And the whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So these are the whole numbers, and this is the natural number. Okay. So remember this. And now here we have some properties. Okay. Properties of the whole numbers. So here there are some properties of addition, subtraction, then multiplication and division. Okay. So we have some properties, and these are the properties. The name of the properties. The first is the closure property. Okay. What is the meaning of closure property? So when you say closure property, okay, and this is applicable in like a closure property for addition of whole numbers. Okay, then closure property of multiplication of whole numbers, then closure property of subtraction of the whole numbers, and the closure property of division of whole numbers. Okay, because we have the 4 operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so for all these operations we have this closure property, and then other properties that is called the commutative property. Okay, commutative property. Okay, then closure property, then commutative property, then you have the associative associative property is there. Then you have the identity property, that is the multiplicative identity, then additive identity, etc. And the property of zero. Okay, so these are the properties: the closure property, commutative property, associative property, then identity element. Okay, so these are the common properties actually: the closure property, the commutative property, and associative property. There is one more property, and एक और property, इसका नाम है distributive property, also distributive property. Okay, distributive property. So these are the properties, these are common to all, like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, and then there are some specific property only for like addition, then for the subtraction, and for multiplication and for division. So here first I will discuss the property, that is the property of addition. Okay, so in case of addition, so what is the meaning of here? The first, the closure property for addition of whole numbers. Okay, the closure property for addition of whole numbers. So it means that like when you add any two whole numbers, okay, when you add any two whole numbers, the answer will always be a whole number. Okay, that is the closure property for addition. Okay, so this is the meaning of this, that when you add, okay, when you add any two numbers, like for example 3 plus 4, the answer will be 7. So 3 and 4 are whole numbers, and the sum, that is the 7, is also a whole number. So here this closure property is valid in case of the addition of whole numbers. Okay, the closure property is true in case of the addition of whole numbers. Okay, so this is the closure property for addition. Okay, then you have the commutative property. Commutative property for addition. So here I am discussing the first the addition. Okay, addition, that is the properties for additions. So first is the closure property. I told you that like here 3 plus 4 is 7. When you add any two whole numbers, the answer will be answer will also be the whole number. Okay, so the closure property is valid for the addition. Next is the commutative property. Commutative property means that like it is 3 plus 4 here. Okay, 3 plus 4 equal to 7. Then 4 plus 3 is also 7. Okay, so this is called the closure property. That is, it means that if you change the order, है ना, मतलब इसमें क्या होगा कि अगर हम ऑर्डर को चेंज करेंगे तो आंसर पे चेंज नहीं होगा। ऑर्डर पे चेंज करने से, ऑर्डर जैसे यहाँ पर क्या है कि पहले 3 लिखा हुआ है, फिर बाद में 4 लिखा हुआ है, और फिर दोनों प्लस किया तो 7 आ गया, और जब हमने 4 को पहले लिखा और 3 को बाद में लिखा तो आंसर फिर भी 7 आ गया। तो इसका मतलब यहाँ पर इफ यू चेंज द ऑर्डर देन it does not affect the sum of the numbers. Okay, so this is the commutative property. So it means that the commutative property is true for the addition of whole numbers. Then next is the associative property. So associative property means like if you take the numbers like 3 plus 4 plus 5, okay, equal to how much here? 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 12. Now here see, that is write this in the bracket. Okay, that is now first we have added 5 plus 4, this is 9 plus 3, 12. Now next is 3 plus 4 bracket plus 5 equal to how much? Here again 12. So see that अब now इसको हमने पहले ग्रुप कर दिया और फिर इसको ऐड कर दिया, तो आंसर आ गया 12. So in both cases the answer is same. Okay, so this is the associative property. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि that is in case of the whole numbers the associative property for addition is valid. Okay, and this is not all true for other like for the division and the subtraction. Okay, but this is true for the addition. And the distributive property is not given in this book. Okay, so I will not discuss this. Yes, it is given. Okay, distributive property is not here. It is for the multiplication. Okay, not for the addition. So और इसमें like associative property, I told you that closure property, then commutative property, then associative property, then there is the identity element, okay, for addition, identity element. Identity element for the addition. So that is we have to find a number. Like if you have a number, okay, suppose there is a number, okay, number 5, okay. Now what number you will add to 5 to get the number, that is answer 5. मतलब ये हुआ कि नंबर 5 दिया हुआ है और इस 5 में कौन सा नंबर प्लस करने से आंसर 5 ही होगा, okay. So that will be called the identity element for the addition of whole numbers. So here you know 0, okay, 5 plus 0 is equal to 5. So the identity element for the addition of whole numbers is 0, okay. 0 is called the identity element for the addition of the whole numbers, okay. Like this, a plus 0 equal to a, or 0 plus a equal to a, okay. So 0 is the identity element for addition, okay, 0. So this is the identity element. And next is the properties of subtraction. Now you remember that there is no point in discussing the property, that is closure property, associative property, DC, okay, in case of the subtraction and the division, because in case of the subtraction and division, closure property, commutative property, associative property does not hold good, okay. They are not true for this. For example, in case of subtraction, okay, in case of subtraction, see that 5 minus 3 is equal to 2, okay. This is true here, and because 5 and 3 are the whole numbers, and when you subtract 3 from 5, the answer is 2, and which is also a whole number, so this is true. But suppose if you have 3 minus 5, then what is the answer in this case? When you subtract 5 from 3, then we will not get any whole number, okay. That is here number, that is here the answer is not a whole number, okay. Just remember that here when you subtract 5 from 3, actually answer here will be minus 2, okay. But minus 2 is not a whole number, so the closure property is not valid for the subtraction. Similarly, the associative property and the commutative property is also not valid, okay. So in case of subtraction, these properties will not these properties are not correct, okay. So commutative property is not correct for the subtraction, as associative property also does not hold good for the subtraction. And then you have the property of 0 in this, okay. Property of 0 is there, okay, in this, like 5 minus 0 equal to 5, okay. So this is called the property of 0 for the subtraction of number. This is true for the property of 0 is true for the subtraction, okay. So these are the properties, that is it means that closure property, associative property, commutative property does not hold good for the subtraction of whole numbers. And only this property is there, that is the property of 0 property, that is 5 minus 0 equal to 5 for any number, like 7 minus 0 equal to 7. This is the property of 0 for the subtraction. Then next is the properties for multiplication. Now as in the example of the addition of the whole numbers, all the properties are valid also for the multiplication, okay. For the multiplication also it is valid. Like first is the multiplication, okay, for the multiplication of whole numbers, okay, multiplication of whole numbers. So in this first is the closure property, okay, closure property. In this suppose the two numbers are there, 3 and 4, okay. Multiply this to get the answer 12. Now what does it mean here? Here 3 and 4 are the whole numbers, okay. 3 और 4 क्या है, यहाँ पर whole number है, और जब इसको मल्टीप्लाई किया तो आंसर आ गया 12, और 12 भी क्या है, होल नंबर है। इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जो क्लोजर प्रॉपर्टी है वो मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ होल नंबर्स के लिए ट्रू है, वैलिड है, ओके। दैट इज the closure property is, or closure property does hold good for the multiplication of the whole numbers. ठीक है, तो ये प्रॉपर्टी हो गया इसमें. So the next is the commutative property. Commutative property for the multiplication. Commutative property here. So in this you have a into b equal to b into a. Here a and b are the whole numbers. Like 3 into 4 equal to 12 and 4 into 3 is also equal to 12. That is, if you change the order of the numbers which you are going to multiply, the answer will remain unchanged. Okay, that is why it means that the commutative property for multiplication of whole numbers holds good. Okay, and this is true for this. So then you have the next property is the associative property. So in case of the associative property, that is also true for the multiplication of the whole numbers. Associative property, like here you have a into b into c equal to a into b into c. For example, 3 into 4 into 5 equal to how much? It will be 3 into 20 equal to 60 here, and next is 3 into 4 into 5 equal to 12 into 5 equal to again 60 here. So 60 here. So you see that कि यहाँ पर क्या किया हमने, यहाँ पर 3 into 4 into 5 लिया. तो पहले हमने यहाँ पर क्या किया, 5 और 4 को मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया और आंसर आ गया 20. फिर 20 से कितना हो गया 60. The next is here, now multiply 3 and 4 first and then multiply with 5. And then again answer is 60. So it means that the associative property holds good for the multiplication of the whole numbers. Okay. Then you have the multiplicative identity in this, like in case of the addition, you have the additive identity. Okay, and the additive identity, that is the 0. But here in this case you have the multiplicative identity. And what is the multiplicative identity? In case of the multiplication, it is 1. Okay, multiplicative identity. That is, multiplicative identity means that we have to find a number. Okay, we have to find a number which, when multiplied by a given number, the answer will be the given number. For example, this is 5. Okay, now what number you will multiply to 5 to get the answer 5? So it is 1. That is 1 equal to 5. That is 5 into 1 equal to 5. So 1 is the multiplicative identity for the multiplication of the whole numbers. Okay, remember this, the multiplicative identity. That is, any whole number multiplied by 1 is the whole number itself. Okay, any whole number multiplied by 1 is the whole number itself. So here 1 is the multiplicative identity. Next is the multiplicative property of 0. Like 0. So that is property for 0 here. It means that if you multiply 0 to any whole number, the answer will always be the, here it is the property of 0 for multiplication. So like a into 0 equal to 0, and here a is the whole number. Similarly, like 5 into 0 equal to 5. So 0 is the, here you can say that multiplicative property of 0. Okay, so 0 is the number which, when multiplied to any whole number, gives you the answer 0. Okay. Now there are properties of division. So in case of division, all the properties are invalid. That is, the closure property, then commutative property, then associative property. All these properties are invalid. Okay. These properties are not true for the division of two whole numbers. Okay. And there is only one property which is valid is here. That is, if you divide any non-zero, if you divide 0 by any non-zero number, then the answer will be 0. Like for example, 0 divided by, suppose a equal to 0, and here a is any whole number, and whole number means that here a is not 0, a is non-zero whole number, that is, and you know that if you divide any number by 0, it is not defined. Okay, that is, division by 0 is not defined. Okay, that is meaningless. So this is all about the properties. Okay, now solve some questions here. So here you have to remember some properties. Okay, I will just recap all those in short. Like you have a into 0 equal to 0. Okay, then other is 0 divided by a equal to 0. Okay, and a divided by 0 equal to not defined. Okay, not defined. Okay, so and also okay, now exercise 4.1. Okay. So in the first question, you have to match each of the following with the appropriate property. So the answer of the first question is this: a 5 into 1 equal to 1 into 5 equal to 5. This is the multiplicative. Okay, multiplicative arithmetic. You know, this is the multiplicative arithmetic, because when you multiply 1 to any number, the answer will be the number itself. Okay, so this is the multiplicative property. So it's that is for a, the answer will be 2. Okay, that is the second number. No, not second number. It is fourth number. Okay, it is the fourth number. The answer for the first question will be the fourth number. That is the multiplicative identity. And question number B is this: 6 into 3 plus 6 into 1 equal to 6 into 3 plus 1. Okay, this is called the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Okay, distributive property of multiplication over addition. Okay, this is the distributive property of multiplication over addition. So answer is here in this 5. Okay, actually this is like this: if you have a into b plus c, that will be equal to a into b plus a into c. Okay, this is the multiplicative. This is the distributive property. Okay, distributive property. Distributive property of multiplication over. Okay, so this is the distributive property of multiplication over addition. So, and question number C is here: 9 into 3 equal to 3 into 9. 9 into 3 equal to 3 into 9. This is the commutative property of multiplication. So here the answer will be 1. Okay, that is for C the answer is 1. And question number D, here 0 into 10 equal to 10 into 0 equal to 0. So this is the property of 0 for multiplication, or the multiplicative property of 0. So answer is 2 for this. Okay, second number, multiplicative property of 0. And question number E is here 7 into 5 minus 2 equal to 7 into 5 minus 7 into 2. Okay, this is the distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. Okay, because here there is a subtraction sign here, so you can say that distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. So here the option is number 3. Okay, number 3 is the answer for this. Okay, so this is the solution of this question number 1. A, B, C, D, E. For A, the answer is 4th number. For B, the matching number is 5. For C, the matching number is 1. And for D, the matching number is 2. And for E, the matching number is 3. Okay. Now move on to the next question. Okay. So you must revise the properties. Okay. There are many properties. So you have to revise the properties for only for the addition and multiplication. Because for the subtraction and division, all the properties are not valid. Only the property for 0 is valid. Okay, that's it. Okay, so all the properties are there for only for the addition and the multiplication. And for subtraction and division, only one property is valid. That is for the 0. Like for example, 5 minus 0 is 5. So that is the property of 0 for the subtraction. And for division, there is also one property that if you divide 0 by any non-zero whole number, the answer will always be 0. And also that if you divide any number by 0, that will be not defined. That will be undefined or meaningless. Okay, that's it. Now question number 2. Fill in the blanks. In this, the first question is question number A. Here you have 5 into 7 plus 0 equal to 5 into 7 plus dash into 0. So here you see that this is the distributive property of multiplication over addition. So when you open this, that will be 5 into 7 plus 5 into 0. So here the answer will be here 5. Okay, 5 is the answer. Then I will do the question number D here. Okay, D, and you will do the other question yourself. Okay, so D, here you have B plus dash equal to B. So here the answer is 0. That is, this is called the additive identity for the whole numbers. Okay, additive identity. That is 0 is the additive identity. That is when you add 0 to any number, the answer will be the number itself. Now question number 3. Use an appropriate property to compute each of the following. So question number A. Here use an appropriate property to compute. So 95 into 102. Here you can write this as 95 into 100 plus 2. Okay, then it will be 95 into 100 plus 95 into 2. So it is 95 100 plus this will be 190, and then add here. So this is the answer of this question. Okay, you can solve like this. You can split this 102 like this 100 plus 2, so that we can use the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Okay. Now question number 4. Draw a number line from 0 to 10 and show the result of the following. Okay, we have to solve on the number line. Question number 4, A. So 5 into 1. So if you draw the number 9 like this, this is 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now here you have 5 into 1. So 5 into 1 actually here it means that 5 times 1. Okay. That if you have 1 into 5, then 1 times 5. 5 times 5 times 1 means it will be actually like this. Okay. Like 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So here the answer will be here in this case 5. Or you can also, if you have 1 into 5, then it will be actually this directly. Okay, that is 1 into 1 times 5. 1, that is 5 only 1 time, so your answer will be like this. That is, you will jump from 0 to 5, then you will get the answer 5 again. But actually both are correct. Okay, like 5 times 1 or 1 times 5, answer will be the same, that is 5. Then 5 plus 5. So 5 plus 5 will be how much? How? So B number here 5 plus 5, that is 5, means you will go from 0 to 5 and then plus 5. Then again you will go 5 steps ahead here, so you will reach at 10 here. So this is the representation of 5 plus 5 on the number line. Okay, and 5 minus 5, how will you get 5 minus 5? See, 5 minus 5, that is first go 0 to 5 like this, and then again take a U-turn. Okay, U-turn means again you will come to this 0. Okay, so 5 minus 5 will be 0. Okay, you will move from 0 to 5 and then again from 5 to 0. So the answer actually will be 5 minus 5 will be 0. Now write a whole number that does not change after division by any number. Okay. In this you don't have to solve anything, just write the answer. Write a whole number, write a whole number that does not change after division by any number. Okay, मतलब ऐसा कौन सा whole number है जिसको किसी भी नंबर से डिवाइड करने से आंसर सेम ही आएगा. ठीक है, वो नंबर आंसर क्या है? वो 0 है. वो नंबर क्या है? 0. Okay, so the answer of question number 5 is 0. Okay, 0. Because you see here like 0 divided by 5 equal to 0. 0 divided by 2000 equal to 0. Okay, so that is if you divide 0 by any number other than 0. Okay, remember this, that the division by 0 is not allowed. Okay, because that is meaningless. So you can take any other number other than 0. And if you divide 0 by any non-zero whole number, the answer will always be the same, that is 0. So answer is here 0. And question number 6, what is the difference between the additive identity and the multiplicative identity? Okay, what is the difference between the additive identity and the multiplicative identity? So additive identity is additive identity means that you have any number, okay, and if you add like 0, okay, that is 0. You know that 0 is the additive identity, whereas 1 is the multiplicative identity. This is the difference of these two. The 0 is the additive identity and 1 is the multiplicative identity. Means that if we add 0 to any number, the answer will be the number itself, and when you multiply 1 to any number, the answer will be the number itself again. Okay. So that is the one is called the multiplicative identity, and 0 is called the additive identity. Now question number 9 I will do. Okay, question number 9. Question number 9. In a 5-story mansion, there are 18 rooms on each floor, and in every room there are 20 switches. How many switches are there in all the rooms of the building? मतलब क्या, यहाँ पर एक बिल्डिंग है जिसमें मतलब 5 फ्लोर्स हैं, 5 स्टोरी मैंशन, मतलब महल है यहाँ पर, देयर आर 18 रूम्स ऑन ईच फ्लोर, हर फ्लोर पे 18 रूम है और हर रूम में कितना स्विच है, 20 स्विच है। तो हमको बताना है कि उस बिल्डिंग में कितना स्विच होगा। ओके, सो फर्स्ट राइट हियर नंबर ऑफ रूम्स ऑन ईच फ्लोर, नंबर ऑफ rooms on equal to 18. Okay, number of rooms on each floor equal to 18, and the total number of and the number of switches, the number of switches in one room, number of switches in one room, number of switches in one room equal to 20. Okay, then number of switches, number of switches on each floor equal to how many? That is 18 into 20, that is 360. That is on one floor we have a total of 360 switches. Now we have 5-story building here, so the total number of switches, number of switches on 5 floors equal to 5 into 360, that is 1800. So the total number of switches is equal to the total number of switches is equal to 1800. Okay, so इस तरह से इसको सॉल्व करेंगे. How many switches are there in all the rooms of the building? Okay, so we can also find the number of rooms first. Okay, because 18 rooms are there on the one floor, then we can find how many rooms are there on all the 5 floors. So it will be 90. Okay, because 18 into 5 will be 90. So you have a total of 90 rooms, and you know that in one room there are 20 switches. So the total number of switches will be 90 into 20. Again the answer will be 1800. Okay, in that way also you can go. So now question number 12. Question number 12 is Rohan wants to buy. Question number 11 also. Okay, 11. In a book there is a puzzle after every 8 pages. Okay, there is a book. In that book there is one puzzle after every 8 pages, and the total number of pages in the book is 176. Then how many puzzles are there in the book? So in this you will divide. Okay, that is first write the total number of pages. Total number of pages equal to 176, and there is a puzzle after every 8 pages here. So what is the total number of puzzles here? So the number of puzzles equal to 176 divided by 8 equal to 22. Okay, so the answer will be here 22. So in that book there are a total of 22 puzzles. Okay, so that is the answer of this question. Then question number 12. Rohan wants to buy 5 pairs of jeans and likewise 5 t-shirts for his annual clothes stock. One jeans cost ₹1,500 and the cost of a t-shirt is this. How much money would he need? Okay, so Rohan wants to buy 5 pairs of these. Okay, 5 pairs and 5 t-shirts. So the cost, first right here, the cost of one pair of jeans pant equal to 1,500 rupees. Then here you will write the cost of 5 pairs of jeans pant equal to 5 into, so this much is the cost of all the 5 jeans pant. Then cost of your one t-shirt equal to rupees 750. Then cost of 5 t-shirts equal to 5 into 750, that is this much. Okay, this is the total cost of 5 t-shirts, and this is the cost of all the 5 pairs of jeans. Then how much money? So the money required equal to 7,500 plus 3,750. This is 0.05. This much. Okay, so this is the answer. 11,250 rupees is needed for this to buy 5 pairs of jeans and the 5 t-shirts. Okay. So here I did many questions and I left many questions also. So the questions which I left is your homework. Okay. So this chapter is finished, and you will do your homework properly, and you will learn the properties. Okay, you must learn the properties like the properties of addition and the property of multiplication. Okay, these are the main 2 properties here, for the addition and for the multiplication. Because as I told you before that for the subtraction and for division, no property is true. Okay, so you have to learn for the addition and for the multiplication, and you must go through all the questions. You will practice the questions. Okay, so now I hope you understood all these things. Okay, then thank you for watching. I will meet in the next class.